So Canelo Alvarez was on the Breakfast Club, and when they asked him if he was in Errol Spence's shoes, what would you do? Would you take the Crawford rematch? What would you advise Errol Spence to do? That's when Canelo Alvarez responded with, as a fighter, I would want to rematch Crawford right away, immediately. Here is exactly what Canelo Alvarez had to say. Check it out.
Keep forward and keep fighting.
Would you rematch right away, or would you take a little break, take a couple of fights for?
Thinking like a boxer, rematch
Immediately.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you don't see, you can't see Errol Spence beating Crawford in any division, even at 154. Do you see anybody from 147 to 154 beating Terence Crawford?
I don't think so.
Why the you lying?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out, if Canelo truly felt that way, how come Canelo didn't rematch Bivol right away? Especially when Canelo had a rematch clause against Bivol, just like Errol Spence does today against Crawford. However, instead of Canelo activating his rematch clause against Bivol, he ended up disactivating his rematch clause in order to fight a 40 years old Gennady Golovkin, who was moving up in weight. We all know what time it is. To make matters worse, Bivol did beat Canelo Alvarez every minute of every single round. However, he didn't beat Canelo as bad as Crawford beat Errol Spence. But clearly, Bivol could have done more. So perhaps Canelo Alvarez felt that in the rematch, most likely Bivol would have stopped him, especially after seeing Canelo Alvarez gas out in the later rounds. Nevertheless, Canelo doesn't have any room to tell Errol Spence to rematch Crawford when he himself never rematched anybody that beat him, from Floyd Mayweather to Lara to Bivol. Canelo only pretended that he wanted to rematch Floyd Mayweather after Floyd Mayweather retired. But immediately after Canelo lost to Floyd, he never asked for the rematch. Like I said, it wasn't until Floyd retired. That's when Canelo started barking. However, we all know he's all bark, but no bite. Because if he was gonna bite, Canelo would have done that against Bivol. Furthermore, Errol Spence has few days left to activate his rematch clause against Crawford. Now, if Errol Spence feels at 154, he can at least go 12 rounds with Crawford. Forget about winning. If Errol Spence feels he can actually manage to go 12 rounds with Crawford in the rematch without getting knocked out, Errol Spence is going to activate the rematch clause. However, if Errol Spence feels the rematch is going to be worse for him than the first fight, and there's nothing he can do to beat Crawford and survive for 12 rounds, then obviously he's not going to activate the rematch clause, because the money is not going to be worth his health. You see, Errol Spence is a great fighter, and he has nothing to be ashamed of if he doesn't fight Crawford again. Errol Spence made this epic night happen, and sometimes some fighters just have your number. Crawford is just the better man, and there's nothing wrong with that, because Crawford is a top 5 to top 10 all-time great. However, if Errol Spence does decide to take the rematch with Crawford, he better figure out how to turn Super Saiyan. He needs to unlock that level. He might want to go train with Goku or something. With that being said, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.